Good evening and welcome to a very special Thursday night edition of the Power Hour. I'm Steve, along with Pac-Man. Pat, how you doing, Pat?
Doing great. Being 1-0, it's a great feeling.
Well, we'll get back to that a little later. And of course, Rion Skills, the real deal, is doing the pictures tonight. Hello, Rion. We'll talk to Rion in a minute. Our special guest tonight is a super wrestler, to be sure. It is the king of Krossternia, the enigmatic one and only RYORR. Hello, RYORR. Welcome to the Power Hour.
Well, it is great to be here on your Power of Hour. And here on Earth, I must apologize. My host family that Billy of the Whack has set me up with has said that I should come prepared. So I wore this neck piece, as you can see.
That is a magnificent tie.
Is that what? I'm sorry. What did you call it?
It's a magnificent tie. A tie is a
tie. That's what I'm wearing right now.
Yes.
And I dressed for the occasion, realizing that of cast pods, you are number one on Earth. And I am thrilled to be here. I see the Pat Man is here.
He is here.
Some sort of championship in the background. Are you a champion here on Earth?
I sure am. I am the new lovely intoxicated men champion.
Wow. Mighty poor standards here on Earth of champions, but no, nevertheless, as you can see, I'm a champion from Krossternia myself. So I will talk to you as if you are my equal, although we know you're not. We'll pretend here on the Power of Hour.
I think I can live with that, RYORR.
Now, Mr. RYORR, it's been quite a ride for you coming here to this planet Earth from so very far away, and we were looking forward to transporting through time and space to visit you on Krossternia, and then we realized that you can't even get home. So how the hell were we going to get there? See, Red right now is still looking for portals to jump through to go to Krossternia. I hope he's okay. We'll hope to hear from him later. But the prize, back in the first installment of Super Wrestlers, the prize had some significance for you in order to get back to Krossternia. Now, you did not successfully achieve the prize up against the Shogun, but still you are pursuing it. What is with this prize that you feel you need?
Well, to discuss the prize and the need of it, I must talk about my brother RYORR.
Yes, we're talking about RYORR. Everybody saw what happened at the Super Wrestler Strike Back. That was some graphically shocking footage.
Well, it may be a surprise to others, but I've known RYORR since he was a young boy, and he has always been a trickster. But when he and his team went rogue, he hasn't always been bad, Stephen Arnott. He has not always been bad. He was a great general for a short time in Krossternia. Our father, the king, the true king of Krossternia, sent him on impossible missions, one after another. And he was able to achieve success in all of these missions. He had a commando team of shock troopers that were at his beck and call at all times. Unfortunately, they went rogue. Unfortunately, power corrupts. And RYORR thought he could overthrow Father, and he opened up a portal to an ancient evil. And the prize must be brought back to Krossternia to power our weapons that we no longer have access to since General RYORR has left. That is the true backstory, Stephen Arnott.
That is some gripping reality right there. A man that was once respected has now been absolutely corrupted by absolute power. And in order for you to restore balance, the prize must be returned to power the weapons to combat the rogue element in the Krossternian army. That is a large burden for you to carry by yourself. Not only are you warring against, well, not necessarily warring, but there's definitely issues between you and Rydell, as we saw the absolutely unbelievable reveal when he was unmasked and he's trying to steal your powers, and so much was happening. We were so emotional in that moment, as you were. It was shocking. You said it didn't shock you, but boy, you certainly had that look of surprise when the mask came off and he was there staring into your soul, laughing at you. How do you react to something like that?
Well, I never thought that my opponent that night of Super Wrestler Strike Back would be my own brother. But I should have known better, Stephen Arnott. He used the Obake Claw, an ancient relic from Krossternia that is used to suck the life force and strength from your opponent. I should have known better that his name was not Obake, but yet using the Obake Claw itself. When I pulled off the mask and I saw the face of my brother staring back at me, I realized that he is completely gone, Stephen Arnott. He is completely succumbed to the power that he craves, the power that he feels he's entitled to as being an heir to the throne of Krossternia. He was the product of an affair that my father had with a Narfling. The Narfling is shunned by the people of Krossternia.
Never heard Narfling.
They're very much a trickster group. They cause havoc wherever they go. They feed, as you would call them here in Earth, vampires. They live off of other species' blood, and he was raised by them. Although we thought he may have changed, I don't know.
That is incredible, incredible information, and it now makes perfect sense. While we were discussing the backstory here, Rachel, aka Cactus Rack, has joined us. Rachel, say hello to RYORR.
Hello, RYORR. Pleasure to see you here. Thank you for joining our podcast to tell us your story.
Cactus Rachel, it is a pleasure to be here.
I have a question about this. Okay, so you and your brother, and when he came out disguised as Obake and brought out this ancient maneuver to suck the power out of you, at any point were you able to put one and one together to get two, that his name, the name of the shapeshifter, was Obake? So did that send chills up? I mean, did you think maybe someone had come from Krossternia other than your brother?
Never. It was such by accident that I was able to power the space bridge through the space-time continuum to get to your Earth that we are here on now, that I never thought another Krossternian could make the journey. But if any Krossternian could, it would have been Rydell. Rydell knows how to survive. He grew up in the swamps. He was given a second chance, or a first chance rather, by father. He was made a general in the Krossternian army. Like I said before, he achieved impossible missions. The problem, though, Stephen Arnott, is that we serve together, always trying to one-up each other, always trying to fight for who would bring home the prize of victory for our father. During the siege of Kray, 30 days, Steve Arnott, without rations, and we survived to save Krossternia, multiple battles. And seeing him there in the ring, I knew that the only Krossternian that could make the journey that I did would be Rydell.
It certainly makes a whole lot of sense that something in the family can make that journey through that dangerous procedure to get from there to here. Do you feel like Rydell coming here, do you feel like he's here because he wants to stop you from acquiring the prize? Do you feel like he's worried and that's why he's come so far? I mean, because obviously, you know, there's issues with the king and the queen, as we found out, as you let us in a little bit at the night of the Super Wrestler Strike Back. But do you feel like he could have just stayed in Krossternia and forcibly taken the throne and taken control, but he felt he needed to send himself, not a subordinate, here to stop you? Does that mean what you're trying to do here trumps what he's trying to do there? Is he worried that maybe you will succeed?
After many parsecs of studying and analyzing what could possibly be the answer to your question that I have been thinking about myself, Rydell opened a gateway, like I said, to an ancient evil. I fear that Rydell has lost control of the evil. No one can control that sort of evil. And I believe that his journey here is not only to stop me, but to bring back the prize to save our home world. And in the meantime, either destroy me or keep me here trapped on Earth.
With that gateway being opened, with Rydell coming here and opening that gateway, do you fear that other rogue elements from Krossternia could pass through to create havoc at the Concord Music Hall? Even, I mean, once a door is open, I mean, sometimes you can't close it.
I believe that the evil in Krossternia knows how to corrupt the deep magic. They may already be here, Stephen Arnott.
Oh my God, they may already be here and have their eyes set on December 10th at the Concord Music Hall as the return of the Super Wrestlers taking place in just a few days. In just a few days,
we need to check out those druids that come out with Vlad.
You know, Rachel, that is a fantastic point you just made. And RYORR said that the mischievous Rydell was birth of a species that was very similar to vampires. And here in this realm, we have Vlad Bladder, the teenage vampire. I wonder if there's some kind of weird correlation there. I mean, this could stretch deeply.
Well, Stephen Arnott, this is this Sunday, December 10th, at the Concord Music Hall. I feel that a lot of answers will come of the afternoon. Rydell has quoted me as saying that he knows the deep magic and he preaches the deep magic to me. But you cannot preach the deep magic to me. I was there when it was written. So I know that the evil may be already at Earth. And I know the only thing that can stop it is the prize, and I must obtain the prize.
At all costs. At all costs. We need to stop this. This could be the beginning of a hostile takeover.
You have no idea of the evil. You have no idea of the deep magic. And you have no idea of the consequences of what Rydell has done. All in an attempt to destroy me.
That is some heavy, heavy business. Now, on this particular podcast, Cactus of the Rack is our resident magic specialist. Cactus, what do
You're
you...
a wizard. Is she a wizard?
She might be a wizard. Some might say she is she is a warlock, a witch, whatever you want to call it. Rachel, speak on your magic.
This is news to me. Um, Steve, I hate it when you do this.
I have heard you speak of the dark arts a time or two.
I am not.
Of the darkest arts.
I am more of a bard. I am more of a bard myself. I will say that. I am more of a recorder of this than an active user. I guess I'm just a recorder.
Oh, we have those in Krossternia in the throne room. They take dictation for our chronicles as we have meetings and such in the throne room.
Yes. If you ever need one, if you pay really well, I will do that job for you. I am more so excited to all of this that's going to happen on Sunday, December 10th. Are we expecting like a Krossternia battle royal at any point? Are they just all gonna appear at once?
I'm sorry, I have no understanding what a royale battle is.
Oh, it's when we'll say, like, depending on where you are, 1 to 30 wrestlers would all be in the ring at once and would fight to eliminate each other until they're down to 1.
Oh, I have no idea. I have no idea of what Billy of the Whack has planned for super wrestlers.
So do you think Billy Whack already knows if they're here?
I'm sorry, who?
Do you think Billy of the Whack already knows whether they're here?
He may.
He may know. Oh.
He seems to have answers that no one else has, and he seems to have he seems to be able to see the future.
We need to arrest this man.
That's what we said back in '96. He sees the future.
Yeah.
We need to arrest this man and make him give us answers. RYOR, if you need assistance, I am here for you.
Wonderful. I'll take that in order.
She's pledging her loyalty to the throne. Speaking of the throne, you had made references at the last show that the queen might be in danger. What does that mean?
Well, I think in Earth, people think my father, the true king of Krossternia, is ill, and he may not have much time. Before I left Krossternia, he championed me with the duty to bring back the prize and save Krossternia. If I was able to accomplish that, I would then succeed him as the true king of Krossternia. The queen is my wife, not his wife.
Not his wife.
My mother passed away onto the Never Realm many years ago of an illness. And the queen that I referenced was my wife. And I don't put it past Rydell nor his shock troopers to kidnap her or to hurt her, and in order to bring down my fall.
Kidnapping the queen, using your own betrothed against you to manipulate you. This trickster must be stopped. How are you going to stop this crazy
and
trickster?
Mind you this, he knows the queen. When we were young and father gave him that chance to come out of the swamp and into the courts, we were all friends. Rydell was green-eyed with envy for me, because her love was focused directly on RYORR, myself. And as many times as how hard he tried, he could never trick her away from me. So do I believe she was a target? I have no idea, as I cannot get back to Krossternia, and I've lost all contact with anyone there. I believe she is in danger, Stephen of the Arndt.
This is just tragic. I mean, the air of jealousy, kind of a love triangle, if you will, makes this all the more dangerous, because he's trying to stop you from acquiring the prize, perhaps even eliminate you altogether so he can reclaim not only the throne of Krossternia, but the queen as well. You are holding RYORR back, and he must see you as a threat. That's the only explanation for why all of this is happening.
Stephen Arnott, this is the other thing that I have not spoken to anyone, even Billy of the Whack, yet. I sense something else is here on Earth with us. It is what do you call here on Earth the window that if you look into it, you see a reflection of yourself?
That would be a mirror.
I'm sorry, what?
I believe it's called a mirror. I'll take a mirror
mirror.
for $100, Alex.
A mirror. That's
Mirror.
what you. I will refer to it. I will refer to it as a mirror for your listeners and viewers, so they understand. I feel the magic of a mirror when I am in the Concord Music Hall amongst the super wrestlers, and I don't know what it is. There's an element there that I cannot figure it out, but I know it has ties to Krossternia and the deep magic. So I have not been able to tell if it is for good or if it's for evil, but I can tell that there is another Krossternian presence when I'm there.
So you feel it kind of empathically, almost as if it's a second nature or a sixth sense. You feel the presence of something, but you can't. It's like through the looking glass.
So is there a Krossternian version of a dowsing rod that you could use to get closer to this energy, to find where it's coming from? Kind of like a metal detector? Is this foreign?
What I'm sorry, what is that?
It's like a device you would use to say there's like treasure buried in the ground. You would use the metal detector to get closer to it. Is there something like that for detecting?
No, nothing here on Earth. I was only sent back with what I was wearing at the time that the portal opened, and
That's troublesome.
I was not able to bring any devices or equipment from Krossternia. So no, I have no idea.
How long have you been here on Earth? It's been a while since you've seen your ailing father and your wife, the queen, and now here you are. Your brother has busted through. Are you concerned that maybe things are more bleak on Krossternia than even you're aware of?
Well, I've been here 8.4 parsons, and obviously RYORR came after me. RYORR has said that I have not been in Krossternia to see the changes. I can only fear that the worst is upon us and upon the people of Krossternia. Make no mistake, Steve Arnott. Make no mistake. RYORR has his following. He has rogue initiative that follows him. And I'm wondering if the civil war has broken out in Krossternia now, without the presence of myself, without the presence of RYORR, and without the presence of our weakened father.
There's nobody there at the wheel. There's no one to lead. It could be anarchy.
It very much could be, Steve Arnott.
This is tragic indeed. You are here now on Earth. You're at your host family's dwelling. Now, even though you're bearing a heavy burden, with what's going on in Krossternia and what you must face in just a few short days. What have you found about Earth? Do you find anything redeeming? You know, the Earth people seem to really like you. You have the support of the masses at the Concord Music Hall. How has Earth treated you? Have you been treated well?
Yes, fair but better than expected. The people of the Concord Music Hall, the the descendants of the ancient building there, have all been very supportive, and I thank them, and Krossternia thanks them, and our people thank them for their support, because their energy helps empower my energy to defeat the super wrestlers that are placed in front of me. I have no idea what Billy of the Whack has in store for us this Sunday at the Concord Music Hall. I just know that I will be facing another super wrestler, and I have no idea which one it could be.
You have faced many of the super wrestlers already in just a short time. Of course, there was the tournament and then all the stuff that went down at the last episode. In fighting the likes of, say, the Shogun, how do you feel about the champions of this planet?
Shogun is a masterful opponent, a worthy opponent. Unfortunately, I'm fighting out of my realm of Krossternia. He has been on Earth much longer and is accustomed to of some of the rules and some of the things that happen here, but very much a fighting champion, and I respect him. Destructo, I don't respect him. I made short work of him in the first round of the tournament, and he's not a champion. Similar to the Dan champion there over on your program there, you know, just someone who is physically not at your level, mentally not on your level, inferior to your strengths. That's how I view Destructo.
Now, that's a bold statement, because some people think Destructo is a monstrous human, and maybe Destructo is even worse. Maybe he's in cahoots with Rydell for all we know. I mean, now that Rydell is here, maybe he is enlisting some of the super wrestlers to fight his cause for him. I mean, this could go much deeper than even Billy of the Whack knows.
Well,
I mean, this could shake the foundation of the super wrestlers as we know them.
I think that Billy of the Whack has underestimated what he's brought here to Earth, or what the Nexus has brought to Earth. There's another being that's calling some of the shots with the Shogun now. That's calling the direction. I'm unfamiliar with its name. I don't care, but it seems that Billy of the Whack has underestimated what he's brought together here on Earth, and it could prove to finally be the demise of Billy of the Whack after all these years.
Well, we would hate to see Billy of the Whack destroyed. He has certainly provided hours of entertainment for all of us. But at this point, with all that you're facing, is it possible that you could start your own army on Earth?
No,
I mean,
no. The goal has always been to get back to Krossternia. Although the people of Earth have welcomed me, made me feel as if this was an extension of Krossternia, I need to get back, Stephen Arnott.
well, I can understand that. I mean, they say there's no place like home, and it sounds like if you don't get back there soon, you might not have much of a home to get back to.
There's no telling what could be done. The damage has already been done.
We have robot officials. We have general managers or puppet masters in the sky pulling the strings. We have a temporal rift open, bringing people from faraway realms to battle here, and it's all converging on the Concord Music Theater. Is there something mystical in the foundation of that building that makes it an epicenter for such craziness?
The Concord Music Hall is as magical a place as you have here on Earth. I've yet to see something with as much magic or with much feel of magic as there is in the Concord Music Hall. I do believe that it's the only place on Earth that could host the super wrestlers.
Feel like you're right, RYORR. Why did I say RYORR? Listen, we've got C-Red here. C-Red has made his way back. You did not find the portal to Krossternia, but I was wrong. I gave you bad information, Red. We never were going to get to Krossternia. So I'm sorry you spent your day looking for it. It's on me. That's my fault.
Bullshit. You sent me off like that. You sent me off like.
Is that who you sent? That is who you sent the Black Knight there.
Yes, we sent the Black Knight.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
And got me lost.
I gave you the wrong conduit coordinates. It's totally on me. My flux capacitor has been broken for a week. I thought I had good information, but I didn't.
You know what? I quit.
Don't quit. Don't quit. Since you are the Black Knight, C-Red, speak to RYORR about all that's going on. You've missed a great deal of storytelling.
I'm sure I have. I am. I hope it's okay that I am a fan of yours, sir. I understand your battle, and I understand your conflict. So my heart goes out, but I believe your goodness will triumph in the end when this is all said and done, and you will get the prize and be victorious.
Red, the Black Knight, thank you for your generous compliments and your empathy and sympathy. Although I find it hard to believe you can understand the battle that's being raged on Krossternia right now, as I'm actually struggling with it, I will take your words as compliments and as well wishes as I continue my quest for the prize. Thank you, Black Knight.
I'm just going to tell you right now, this whole Black Knight thing is going to stick forever. In fact, I might change the name of the whole damn podcast and call it Black Knight and the Other Guys. But that we'll talk about that later on as we go.
We don't know if that's going to be.
I have read through the chronicles of the Earth that the Red of Sea, the Black Knight, was a champion many years ago. And he held together a combative unit, the Touchers of the Soul.
Indeed.
I've read that through the chronicles that team was quite possibly the strongest team that the Earth had ever seen.
Well, I'm not going. He read it, so it must be true, right?
That's amazing.
Storytellers of Earth have written about it in the chronicles, and I have read the chronicles as I research Earth while I am here with my host family, and I read all about Will E. Rich Bomb. I read all about the Rocket Marche. I read all about the Jazz Acid. I have read all about the jester known as Trauma. I know them all. I've read the chronicles, and I know that the Black Knight, Red of Sea, is the leader of that unit. And if I can find a way back to Krossternia, which I will, I may bring the Black Knight with me to lead one of my crack units of troopers against the evil. I will bring him back with me. if he's willing to go and travel.
I'm willing to go. Hey man, hold on.
This is amazing. C Red has been recruited by RYOR to go to Krossternia if we can make
Let's
it
go.
through. He's got
Let's
his
go.
bag packed. He's
Let's
ready
go.
to go right now.
Let's go.
Wonderful.
Let's
Wonderful.
go.
Red of Sea, wonderful. And as soon as we obtain the prize and we head back, I will have you leading that unit, just as you did here through the chronicles that I've read on Earth, through many battles.
Hey, I am ready and willing. And then I ain't got to deal with Steve no more. Yes.
I apologize for giving the wrong. Anyway, we'll get back to the coordinates later. Take us back, if you will, RYOR, to that fateful night many months ago where you came so close to capturing the prize only to be turned away by Shogun. You were so close to, on your first attempt, getting what you needed to go home, and you weren't able to do it. Did you feel a sense of defeat and desperation, like you were going to be marooned here forever, or were you still able to be positive?
Well, obviously, anything that ends like that comes with defeat. I am a champion, and I was defeated, but I have used the loss to Shogun to learn of the battle arts of Earth. And you saw by my last match with Rydal, I was victorious, although the cost of the victory was very great. This week, Sunday the 10th, I plan to be victorious again, and I will obtain the prize.
What does Catalyst Tambor have up his sleeve? Do you think maybe Catalyst Tambor might be someone that you have dealt with in the past? I mean, he has only appeared in visions. He has never actually been here tangibly. He is communicating with Chris Logan these days, but why? What does Catalyst Tambor, what is his attachment to Krossternia, I wonder?
Catalyst Tambor has no bearing on Krossternia, has no bearing on RYOR. He or she or whatever the entity may be is using technology, it's using science, whereas Krossternia believes in the deep magic. And we have no bearing on Tambulus Krambor, or whatever his name may be. I don't feel it working for us or against us. It's just another element of the super wrestlers, but I do believe it is helping Shogun.
He restored his power and led Shogun to a victory over Destructo, whom you also share a victory over. So now, as we get close to the 10th, obviously you and Rydal will have to, it's inevitable that you will square off again in some form or fashion. Maybe not a match, but at some point your paths are going to cross. What do you do at that point? You know what he's done. You know what he's doing. What do you do next?
Well, I tried to speak to him and try to come up with a plan to help Krossternia, to possibly save Krossternia. And if he will not listen to reason, then he must be defeated no matter the cost.
That is a bold statement. Now we're going to let the panel ask you a question or two. Pac-Man, you have been silently paying attention to RYOR. Do you have a Krossternian question for the man who would one day be king?
Do in fact, and I want to learn a little more about Krossternia. So what would be the one thing from Krossternia, like the biggest delicacy that you could think of there, that might have a good home on Earth?
Delicacy, as you mean, as far as nourishment?
Yeah, you could go that route.
Stand up, boy. Stand up so I can see you.
Sure.
That is why you're asking about nourishment. You've dealt with too much nourishment already. Please sit.
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
Please sit. As far as delicacies go, the food is unmatched. The drink is unmatched. The company is unmatched. And Earth has nothing that I have been able to see that even comes close to the nectars and the nourishments of Krossternia.
What about Pabst Blue Ribbon? That seems to be a very strong force in the land that maybe you will take back to Krossternia, because
Yeah,
everybody loves the PBR.
The blue ribbon. Yes, the fuel that comes from the can.
Yes.
I've had several of those while being here with my host family. It is possibly the closest delicacy that I have been able to find, light years behind Krossternia, but as good of a opportunity as could be had by Earth to produce a nectar for royalty like myself.
I too have felt that Pabst Blue Ribbon, not only are they a fantastic sponsor, but I feel like they could be nectar of the gods here on our realm of Earth. Rachel, what have you got? Please tell me you have something better than nourishment.
I asked my questions. I don't wait. I don't wait for permission. I just go.
All right, well,
I actually I do have a question. I would like to know if
Michelle, why do you
yes,
hide behind this dark screen when you speak?
because I'm traveling from work. I am I am actually currently walking through a train station. So I am hiding. Actually, I hide my face in general, but
The train is a vessel that you use to move from one place to another?
yes, it's like a horse but metal and a bunch of them tied together.
Wonderful.
Yes.
That's
I
your
do
question.
have my question is if your queen is trained in hand-to-hand combat, if she's there by herself.
She is. She is skilled with a sword. She is skilled with a shield. She is skilled with an axe and a mace. She is skilled with a blaster pistol. She is more than capable of handling herself. She may have escaped the castle during, the palace during Rydal's siege, and she may be on her own. I don't know. I don't know where she is.
That's fair. I wanted to know for my personal comfort that she wasn't left a dainty maiden all alone.
No. She was with Rydal and me during the siege of Cray. 30 days without rations.
Oh my. No nourishment, no PBR?
No, 30 days without rations. Hours upon hours of battle.
Well, kudos to you, because I can't even skate without a taco beforehand.
What's up, Pat? Hello, Hot Rod.
I have just entered my personal horse with and Daddy Andy of the Hot Rod.
I'm listening to AFI.
Moving on.
Moving right on.
Moving on. If I don't, Andrew will take over the podcast.
Yeah, no,
Is he one of those wrestlers too? The man in the vehicle.
Yes, the man in the vehicle is one of those wrestlers as well.
What is his name?
Are you talking? Oh my God.
Yes.
I know who you're talking to.
The Hot Rod Daddy Andy.
I am
Oh.
Daddy Andy of Hot Rodthian.
I've seen pictures of you, boy. You need to maybe chop a tree down or something to grow your arms a little bigger.
You gotta grow your arms a little bigger. Go chop a tree down.
My arms have increased. I carry 100-pound doors in patios all day.
He says his arms have increased. You can judge for yourself on Sunday.
I have no idea what a patio is, but I'm sure if it's any indication of the size of your arms, it must not weigh much here on Earth.
My legs are strong and my forearms are iron.
Okay, I'm having an allergic reaction. I gotta go. My throat's closing up.
Okay. And desperately as she came on, Rachel leaves just as quick. I don't know if Rion's listening, but Rion, do you have any questions for our guest? We'll get back to Rion.
The man with skills is nowhere to be found.
He could be driving, he could be flying. What Rion of the Skills does on this podcast, I can't quantify in human terms.
He's there now.
I'm here. But Steve, you already know I'm trying to get whatever pictures are left. If you, what do you need, man?
I didn't know if you had a question for this most fascinating of guests, this man from another time, another place. You must have a question.
I don't. He's already answered all of them. I can come up with something really fast if it's okay.
It's okay.
Because
Skills of Rion, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Do you still attend the church with the priest of Jared?
I do not.
That fat, no-haired priest of Jared.
I do not. As I do know that the church of Priest of Jared does still operate. I do know that it's still running as far as like broadcasting on Facebook from time to time. But as far as me personally, I have not gone to that particular congregation in years.
It's probably a small decision. With all of Steve Arnott's listeners and viewers, the priest of Jared, I one time watched one of his things that you have here on the box, and there was only one person watching, and it was his mother.
That probably out. I can't confirm because I can definitely say I was not one of them. But if there was only one, there's only one that could confirm it. We would have to ask maybe his mother if that was the case.
No, I'd like to have no interaction with him whatsoever while I'm here on the earth.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Did you know that you are sitting? Well, I guess congregating with an undefeated wrestler at the time, or combatant, I should say, over at Rocket Bro. Not me. I lose all the time, but this one, Mr. What does this say? Mr. 1-0. He is undefeated in competition over at Rocket Bro.
And well nourished.
I'm very well nourished.
I'm not familiar with the Rocket Pro that you speak of, but if it's anything as a tournament or a sporting event, and he being champion or undefeated, I could only imagine that the other combatants are children and barn animals.
Well,
I would say that's pretty true of the idols.
Yeah, that works. That tracks. That actually does track.
I would just like to briefly update that I am alive. I do not know what happened. That was absolutely terrifying.
Glad you're okay.
Do you need help? Should we send the police?
No, I'm fine. That was the most terrifying thing that has probably ever happened to me. I am alive, and I will say that the idols are no better than barn animals.
Rachel, Cactus Dove, maybe what happens when people talk to RYOR sometimes that are from Earth, you experience what is called nervousness. Maybe your throat closed due to nervousness from talking to someone as royal dignity as like I am.
No.
That checks out. That checks out. I will.
That tracks. That tracks very well.
That does not
Right
track
now.
for myself. I'm a
I'm
legend of my own.
Every time I'm on here, I'm nervous. So that checks out pretty well, especially what's of another.
I would definitely. it was her central nervous system shutting down for fear that she is inadequate to be speaking to the true king of Krossternia.
No,
Rachel, is that it?
no, that's definitely not it.
Doth protest too much.
Yeah,
It would,
definitely not it.
definitely is when her prince, or whatever she refers to him as, has arms as big as RYORR's wrists. So
Oh, that's fantastic. Prince Andy.
Thine arms are bigger than thine sons. Thine prince of rock.
I am not
I
following
don't know,
what.
Ryer. I don't think you want to get your titties chopped by these arms. So
I'm
What is
gonna
I'll
check
leave it
out.
at that.
I'm backing out now.
that?
I'm gonna find those.
Andy, you need to stand down now. You are not ready to face someone with the stature of RYORR yet. You need to go to the farm and chop some trees, son.
Steve, fix this. Whatever you're going with this, fix
All right,
it.
we're gonna wrap this up because I know RYORR has many pressing things to do. This Sunday, December 10th, Concord Music Hall, RYORR will return to do what he does best, and that is fight for freedom, fight for peace, fight for family, and fight for Krossternia. And those of us that are lucky enough to sit ringside to watch you fight are better off for the experience. We feel like you are our champion now, and we are behind you, sir, 100%. Whatever you need from the Black Knight or the Nourishment Boy or the Cactus of the Wreck, we are all behind you in your quest. We will support you until you get home with that prize and make things right on your home planet. We want to see you reunited with the Queen. It is our pilgrimage, and we will stand by you, sir.
Your words are kind and your heart is warm, Steve Arnott. The rest of your people here on your cast of pod is very, very encouraging and very, very supportive. I know that with your help, along with the Black Knight, the Champion of Nothing, the Hot Rod, and the Cactus of Rachel in my corner, I can't help but be successful.
Do you have any predictions of what might be happening to you? Do you have any expectations of what might be happening to you this particular Sunday?
The only expectation and the only thing that matters is victory and gaining the prize. That's all that matters. The rest will right itself, Steve Arnott.
Spoken like a true champion, spoken like a true hero, spoken like a man who will be king. RYORR, we thank you for taking some of your time to be with us here on the Power Hour this evening. We will see you Sunday, and we will be ready to help you in any way we can. Good fight, sir. Good fight indeed.
Until Sunday, be well, my friends. Be well.
We are going to let RYORR log off, and then we will wrap this show. And we have seen spectacle from this man. We have heard stories that have blown my mind. Pat, he called you the champion of nothing, but I think he meant it in the nicest possible way.
I think so. It counts. I'm the champion of nothing, but I guess it counts for something.
C-Red is the Black Knight. I want merchandise. You are no longer wearing red. You are the Black Knight. That's amazing. Rachel almost died, and while Rachel's dying, Andy is still trying to justify his arms. What has happened here tonight?
You tell me.
Rock and Nourishment.
Andrew is adamant that his arms are bigger now.
I have gotten much stronger.
He has gotten much stronger. I will say that. But it's okay. Everyone knows I'm the muscle in this relationship. So.
I'm gonna say
I need a breath. I can't process what just happened. Somebody help me.
Did Andrew and Pat just get roasted by the king of Krossternia?
I think we all got a little roasted by the would-be king of Krossternia. You know, let's unpack a little bit of what RYOR said just to kind of frame this. So his father, the king, is ill, possibly dead. His brother laid siege upon Krossternia.
He's an asshole.
What now?
He's an asshole.
He is an asshole. And he's laid siege on Krossternia, and he has come here to prevent RYOR from getting the prize. And the queen, where's the queen? I mean, it sounds like the queen is kind of a badass. She can fight. Is the queen here? Will the queen save us all? What's going to happen Sunday?
Don't know.
Yes,
y'all gonna have to tell.
I'll be there to find out.
I am blown away by, you know, even though we didn't get to go to Krossternia per se. Sorry, Red. My flux capacitor is broken. I can't get it to light up anymore.
Such an asshole.
You can borrow my power glove.
I don't think the power glove would have helped us tonight, Andrew.
You never know. It could.
I'm in shock of what we've been through,
bro.
Dude,
Well,
I
they're
don't.
not trying to time travel. They're trying to dimension travel.
You can time
We're
travel
shifting
with the
dimensionally.
you had a healthy king.
You should have took one of them damn proton packs and charged that damn flux capacitor on Saturday. But see, you ain't never thinking ahead. See,
No.
that's your problem. You don't think ahead.
Now listen, Dark Knight, or Black Knight, don't get under my skin. There's only one Dark Knight. We can't call him that, but that would be wild if he calls you.
Cat should get a Derek Midnight t-shirt made.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I was
That
jacked
sounds good.
for super wrestlers on Sunday. Now I absolutely I'm going to get there at like 4:00. I want to get the first seat in the goddamn house.
Well, I may already be there. I'll beat you there.
I'm sure you will. I've got to wait for Kevin and Jay back. So I will once they come, then we will ascend our way to the magical Concord Music Hall.
Well, somebody just send me a text.
I got you, Grandpa.
Thank you, grandson.
No.
All right. So Super Wrestlers this Sunday, December 10th, Concord the Concord Music Hall. I'm still frazzled from everything that we've experienced. I feel like I got some kind of dimensional shift going on here. I don't know what to say about all of this. Yeah, maybe I am a little messed in that. And he said Billy Whack knows everything. And then he said Billy Whack could be in danger. I can't have Billy Whack be in danger. We need to save Billy Whack.
I think Billy Whack is the danger.
Maybe he's the queen.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare besmirch Billy of the Whack. He's a champion of good. There's the graphic. Rion's got it up there. Return of the Super Wrestlers. The trilogy completes this Sunday. Doors open. What? I can't see this. Is it doors at 5 or doors at 6? Where you at, Pat?
I'm looking.
Hold on.
You got better eyes than I do.
Let me take a look.
So,
I think it was.
Get there early.
was
Get
it
there at
6?
like 3:30. There are plenty of places to eat and drink around there. Get there early and then
Hey, there's some cool stores around there, man.
Yeah, they do. They do. It's
There's
a nice
bunch
little.
of cool stores.
So get up there, get your tickets. If you don't, if you don't already have your ticket, you might be kind of screwed because the house was pretty packed the last time. I'm sure it's going to be packed even more so. I know we're coming out in force. The Hot Rod and the Cactus will be there. I will be there. Pac-Man, you're going to be there, right?
With the LIM. We will be
entire LIM?
Danny and Double J will be joining me. Everybody else was not unfortunately able to make it, but the LIM will be at the Concord Music Hall.
Boy, the LIM really gets around. Rion Skills, will you be at the Concord Music Theater Music Hall this Sunday? Maybe he'll be there. You know, Rion just kind of shows up whenever it's like he is the whiz. He says he's the whiz and he's right. He clicks his heel 3 times and ends up in places you never expect. But that's this Sunday, so check it out. I promise you. Everybody on this panel has been to Super Wrestlers. Everybody on this panel will tell you, let's do it in order. Pac-Man, how do you feel about the Super Wrestlers?
It's like nothing you have ever seen before. If you like wrestling, and if you like, you know, the out of the ordinary, that is the show for you to go to. Best way I could describe it.
Red, tell us about your experience. What do you think of the Super Wrestlers?
It is '80s wrestling. It's crazy. It's '80s wrestling. Take a blender and you put in '80s wrestling, and you put in old school cartoons, and you put in old school comic books, and blend it,
And sprinkle in a little force.
and you pour it. That's Super Wrestlers. Like, dude, it's the character work is second to none. And I've said that before. I love it because you won't see that anywhere else, you know. And I was just somebody's podcast I was listening to, and they talked about that you know, now everybody, you know, is your character is you per se. But that's not really a character, you know. So, you know, I think we all grew up watching people like the Missing Link and you know, God, why is everybody escaping my name? But you think of the Road Warriors, the Legion of Doom, people that just outlandish that you had, you know, you were like they're out of a comic book, or you couldn't believe it, and all of a sudden it all went away, and you know, once ECW and the Attitude Era came on the scene, all of that went away. And Super Wrestler brings that all back. And God, it's the best shit going.
Billy Whack himself said it the best at the start of the last show. He says, in wrestling, they want you to suspend disbelief. At the Super Wrestlers, he wants you to believe. And I think that is one of the most profound things I have heard at a wrestling show in many moons, because I'm Mulder, man. I want to believe. Cactus Rack, you and Andy, what say you about your experience with the Super Wrestlers?
I'm going to be quite a bit more concise than Red. If you're a fucking nerd, this is the show for you.
It's a show for me because I'm a fucking nerd.
Yeah, it's a show for Andy. He's a fucking nerd.
I go every time and I blow my voice out.
Yeah, we both blow our voices out screaming.
Yeah, it is pretty fun.
Yes.
It's pretty fun sitting next to Andy at these shows, because he is the ultimate super fan.
I love wrestling, even if I'm not a part of it.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Again, we all do a lot of wrestling. We see a lot of shows. We go to a lot of places. We work. We spectate. We commentate. We do a lot of things. I gladly give them my money each and every show because they earn my money. I look forward to it. I revel in it while I'm there, and I talk about it for weeks when it's over. And what more can you want out of a wrestling experience than to have that? The anticipation of the show itself blowing your mind, and recounting and reliving it for weeks and months afterwards. That's what the Super Wrestlers is. It's an experience you will talk about the next day. It's an experience you will look forward to. And this is the completion of the trilogy. We had Super Wrestlers, the Super Wrestlers Strike Back. This is the return. What happens next? Is it Night of the Super Wrestlers, the Wrestlers Awaken? I mean, we don't know where they're going to go. Are we going to go to different style of trilogy? Who knows what lurks in the mind of the Billy of the Whack? All I know is we're all grateful to be able to see it and to talk about it on this show. This great, the finest cast of pod in the world today, at least according to RYOR. So we thank RYOR for his time. We've got a few other things to talk about tonight. Let's go, because I know Cactus likes to pop off early sometimes. I didn't get a chance to see it, but I have seen some pretty impressive video clips about a certain daughter of this program running amok at a certain roller derby event, knocking out jammers. Care to tell us a little bit about the Chicago Knockouts Minors bout from this past Saturday?
So it was one of the most intense bouts I think I've ever seen. It was like talking about it beforehand. Sorry, I just got home. Everyone was, kind of watching them and thinking about how far they've come in the last year. And it was really like a culmination of everything. Like, we were really seeing everything they've learned, they've really taken to. So we were seeing people like kids jam that we had never expected to see jam. Like, Super Scary was like literally running on her skates to stay ahead of the pack and to stay ahead of the other jammer. There were some newer skaters that really knocked it out of the park. Like you said, Hazel, who goes by Lunala, straight up just knocked out the jammer who was twice her size. Like, you had to stack Hazel on top of Hazel to get how tall this jammer was compared to her, and Hazel took her right out. And it was a tough one because both teams were down so many skaters that no one really got a second to breathe between jams. It was kind of like, you're up, you're out, you're up, you're out, you're up, you're out. And so like the Scrappers Brawl, which was the first period, there was a huge point discrepancy. So it was like 74-50, I believe, was the final, and it was the Haunters. But when we got to the Brawlers, because there were so few brawlers on both sides, you could see like they were tired, like they were being worked hard. And so it ended up being 50-48 at the end, and the Rumblers took it. And it was by a split second that they took it, because Lydia Beats killed it in the last jam, and she almost caught up to the pack, and she was about to score a few more points, and the bell just caught her. The Rumblers were literally saved by the bell. They would have lost if she had gotten there just a little bit sooner. So it was great. There were a lot of hits, people flying everywhere. Lots of jammers trading lead jammer. It'd be like, this turn, this one's lead jammer, that turn, the other one's lead jammer. It was great. It was really fulfilling to watch. It was really hard to stay quiet because I'm the scorekeeper for those bouts, and so I'm not supposed to be biased. But I don't think it counts as being biased because I was cheering for everybody. It was really great to see how hard they've worked finally come to fruition, and really they put on a clinic in this bout, and I cannot wait for the next season.
the coaches must be so proud. I know how hard they work teaching these young skaters. Were they over the moon?
Yes. Everyone was over the moon. Everyone was impressed. It was almost like tear jerking, kind of, to just see them and talking about it afterwards. The after party was at Rabbit, as always. And the skaters got a round of the skaters got a round of sodas on the house. And I will say, Steve, that they did pull out a Ouija board and they were summoning demons. So be careful the next time you're in the auditorium.
Boy.
But it was just like, it was such a good feeling afterwards to know that they're having fun with this and they are really like coming into their own doing this. And just getting to watch it is just really gratifying.
You guys, the knockouts in general should be very proud of the entire institution, whether it be the Premier League or the minors. Another nice write-up in the HF Chronicle about the impact that the knockouts have had on the Homewood Auditorium, reestablishing it as a vibrant place of commerce in the community where it hasn't been for such a long time, re-energizing the building. They gave the knockouts a lot of credit in that article. I mean, and it well justified too, because whether it's a premier bout or a minors bout, the stadium is rocking. The fans come out, whether they want to see the adults or the children. It's just such a great vibe, and it's become almost synonymous with Homewood. And after the last premier bout, with Local H playing, I mean, the knockouts are here and they've become a spectacle. They are part of the fabric of Homewood, and to ingratiate yourself into the fabric of a city, nice work. Got to give you guys all the credit in the world.
Well, I will speak on behalf of the team and say thank you. It was a natural fit. We were in Markham for our just about our entire first and second half of our season, first half of our second season. We were at Fleetwood, and it just never came together until we got to Homewood. Like, we've been selling out since our very first bout in Homewood. So it was just meant to be.
And we're all glad. Speaking on behalf of those of us that live in this community, we are blessed to have you guys here. And we look forward to a great 2024 season. It's going to be magical.
Yeah, maybe you'll get to see me back on skates.
I am absolutely certain that at some point, whether you're Russian Blue, Cactus Rack, you will be back doing what you were born to do.
I don't know if I was born to do this, but
I'm pretty sure
I think I was born to lie on a couch and eat chocolate all day.
You sell yourself so short. I know better.
Okay.
All right.
But I am in fact going to pop off now because it's been a very long day.
So
I love you all.
Don't die.
See you Sunday.
Good night.
Bye.
Good
All
night.
right. That is our favorite roller derby gal, Cactus Rack, Russian Blue, our Rachel. Love it when she's here and love it when she talks enthusiastically about things. All right, PX. Time to talk about Rocket Pro. And how can we not start talking about Rocket Pro without talking about what happened to you? Pac-Man, nobody else will say this, but I'm going to say it. You stole the show. You were Christmas chaos. From the moment you came out till the moment you dropped that fool with a stunner, Pac-Man, you were Rocket Pro. Rocket Pro was you. Well done, sir.
I appreciate that, Steve. Thank you.
And who can forget the involvement of the Black Knight? Grandpa Red. You taught him well, Red.
Yeah, but I told you I had a plan.
You had a plan, all right.
Plan.
So let me ask you this. Your dad came out. It was Father's Day on Christmas Chaos. Flash Harris comes out. And maybe my eyes deceived me because of all the emotion of the day, but it sure looked to me like Flash decked both you and Johnny Nye.
Yeah,
Now, I know you got a plan. That part of the plan?
yeah. Think about it. If he didn't deck us, the idols would have knew instantly, right?
Maybe.
That does make sense. Yeah.
Again, this whole time, have you heard Flash say anything
Not one
in
thing.
regards to his loyalty as an idol?
The last thing I heard that man say before his hiatus was damn.
And he was frustrated, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
He got his ass kicked, right?
That
Yeah.
grin. Yep.
Got his ass kicked. And where was the idols?
They didn't help him.
They didn't come down at all.
So understand. I see Flash every day.
You see
So-
Flash every day. You also see Renee every day, right?
Yeah,
Tell her to stop messing with somebody who's pooping.
I don't know what that means, but
That's
okay.
none of her business.
I said I don't know what that means, but okay.
You're a
But-
TikTok superstar. You know what that means.
No, I don't, because I ain't been on TikTok in a minute. So again, I had to play Janet Jackson.
Somebody ripped your nipple off?
No. But I had to ask him one question. What has the
Have
idols
you done
done?
recently? And then you went on an escapade.
So, and understand, when this match was made, I knew it was time to pull that card. And I asked him, are you gonna let your son really go through this? Is this what you're gonna let your son go through? A group of guys that says they're there for you, yet they haven't been anywhere around. You went out there, you expressed how you felt, Grin kicked your ass. What was that? Where were they at? What was Joey? What was Roxy? What was Kay? What was Gray? Nobody was around. I said, but you know who's called and checked on you? Your son.
That is true.
I said, so you can't let this happen. So, yeah, there was no DQ, but I also knew I have an ace on my back pocket.
Well, you were in great spirits and your plans worked very well on what will go down in history as one of the great events that Rocket Pro has ever had. And Pac-Man, I was very, very glad that you took my advice, because it looked like at more than one moment you had a chance to sit back and take in the moment. Was it everything you hoped it would be?
So, I mean, and I'll be honest, like a lot of emotions have flooded through my mind over the past couple weeks as I've been preparing for the match, and now the match has happened and now I'm done with it. You know, I got to live a dream I never thought I would ever get to live for one night, but I got to do it. So when I came up onto the entrance stage with all of the members of the LIM,
The LIM Druids.
the beer druids, staring back, chanting my name, the crowd going crazy. I really took that moment in. I took a snapshot of it in my mind that will stay with me for the rest of my life. Because not many people can say they got to do what I got to do this Saturday. And, I took it serious the whole time, knowing that a lot of people don't get that opportunity. And I, again, just, I'm just so blessed and humbled that I got to do that. I love the fact that I got to share the ring with C-Red in one of his last matches before his sabbatical. The opportunity to do that was one that, I couldn't pass up because of my love and respect for C-Red. And, to be able to take down a childhood bully after all these years, that was such a great feeling to hit him with the Limbo.
The Limbo.
Yes, such a great feeling to hit him with that. And then at the end of the night, which you guys are going to see this on the vlog, but I had no idea about this until after the show. After my match, all of the guys went out into the park, and my brother was the LIM champion. And he had put to a vote with the guys that I should be LIM champion. And nobody disagreed. And, I really, that's the one moment I feel like I should have taken in a little more, because of just, it means so much to me just to have like your friends and your family, to just feel that love from them. My uncle came all the way from Fort Wayne to come watch me wrestle with my grandmother.
I saw that.
Yeah. So my Mima and my Uncle Dickie were in the crowd. My work wife was in the crowd with her son, celebrating her son's birthday. Happy birthday, Noah. I got to share that moment with so many people. And I'm so, at the end of the day, I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful. And I am retired now.
Want to know?
But again, this is wrestling, so never say never.
Oh, so you're not retired, you're just on sabbatical.
No, I'm retired, but yeah, I feel like it's good to say, it's the wrestling business after all. We've seen how many times Terry Funk has come out of retirement.
All I'm saying is, once you have a taste.
PX, that's the only time I'm going to say this. PX.
Yes.
Stay gone. Stay gone. Stay gone. Stay gone. I'll take you out myself. Don't do it. I'll do it myself. I'll do it myself. I get it. I understand it. I know you just working in the gimmick. I'm telling you, don't do it. Don't do it. I will whoop your ass myself. I'm just don't do it. Don't. I'm going back to being silent. I'm just don't do it.
No. Don't go back to being silent, because we're going to talk about your match next. I want to hear.
Oh, no worries. There's nothing to say. I'll just put up photos, and then you guys can interpret what happened. I think that'll work out much better, because I am on a shoot scenario, and I'm not even sure if people are ready for this version of it, because I've been playing around with a gimmick this whole time. I'm not sure if you're ready for what I have to say about this.
About
but you
your
go
match
right ahead.
with JBJ? You don't think we're ready to hear what you have to say?
No, I'm talking about politics now. I'm talking about all the shit that surrounds things that you guys don't even see. But that's a whole other thing in itself. I don't think you're ready for that, because I can go.
Red, do you want to hear it?
No, you don't. No, you don't, because it's going to shit on everything. And I'm not sure if people want to hear that type of scenario. But for the sake of argument, we need to continue to talk with 9-0 the man over there. Just talk with him. But I'm telling you, stay 1-0. Don't do it. Don't jump back in the ring. Just stay undefeated. Don't be right back. Okay? Don't be that dude. Just
So I'm not going to be making out with Shrek on TikTok. Don't worry, Rian.
all right.
Okay. Speaking of Rion and his shoot, he lost his title to Joseph Von Jaeger, who I thought it was a hell of Red. We were there. It was a hell of a match.
Of course,
right?
we were commentating.
Yeah. Take me back through your thoughts on this match.
I was impressed with Von Jaeger. I really believe Rion was going to pull it out.
There's
but-
Rion hung up on the ropes.
I think Von Jaeger was just one step ahead. And honestly, I don't give a fuck about the match. I don't.
The aftermath.
Yeah, that's what doesn't sit well with me. And I was talking to somebody after the show, and they asked me why wasn't I more celebratory? That's the word. And I was honest. I said, well, how can I be when bullshit keeps happening? And they asked me, what do I mean? And I said, shit that happened to Rhea. So why should I care? Right? I won my match, or we won our match. So I should say, so why should I care that Rhea lost this? It's not about him losing this match. It's not about him losing the title. It is about, clearly, up to this point, Damian Saint has been using Rion for months, for whatever. Still not sure. And because, for whatever reason, he feels Rion is now a non-asset. So he sends the undeniables. It took everything in God's power for me to not jump up and whoop everybody's ass, Satan included. I mean, look at this picture. First of all, on my worst day, I could beat the shit out of Ryan Matthews. Michaels, I ain't worried about. How you beat a big man, break his ass down. And that Wolverine wannabe, I got some anonymity for his ass. So I don't give a fuck whether people like it or not. They agree, they disagree. I already told you, if you my friend, you my friend. I don't always have to agree with you. And that's what true friends do. They don't always see eye to eye on everything. But the shit that was pulled, I don't agree with. And because he lost the title, he gets treated like this. And I thought it was, honestly, I thought it was bullshit when it was Turtle, right? And I mean, let's be honest. I love Mike, but I've known Rion long, so the connection is a little bit more strong. So, I'm not saying I wasn't upset, but I was like, okay, and I'm just getting back into the flow. Know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to rock the fucking boat. But now, and I don't give a fuck. Yeah, 17th is it, right? But trust me, let the management of Rocket Pro ask to put my goddamn name on another contract and saying this time, you get to take out the under 9. You goddamn right. Because right is right, wrong is wrong. And you get tired of bullshit.
Hey, Red, I'll do it this way because I mean what I say as far as the shoot. Because normally I put on a gimmick and I have to talk in a calm voice and do all this other stuff. But anyone that knows me knows I don't even fucking talk like that. I do that to appease everyone else. This is like people that know me know how I speak, and that ain't it. So I'm gonna make this very, very clear. My thoughts as far as what took place on that day and afterwards, I'll tell you guys off the air. But as far as this scenario to stay in gimmick, because I know that Steve has like things he has to like accomplish, I'll just ask a couple of questions to you all and then see how you respond to said scenarios. Is that okay, Steve? You ready for this rapid fire?
Ready?
Wonderful. Okay. Where were you guys when I was getting my ass kicked the first time?
Not where we should have been.
Wonderful. So when you saw the second ass whooping coming, because I know I saw the second ass whooping coming, as I have made it clear that this guy was a bad dude, and he's been a bad dude this entire time on this podcast, on the LIM podcast, on fucking JFW's podcast, and I hope they're listening today. I've made it clear. Maybe this guy has an agenda. Maybe that's bigger than just selling out stuff. Maybe he's taking money and building an army that no one sees just yet. Does anyone actually know how many people are in the undeniable?
Like watching the ARC run amok.
No, it's not, because at least you know who the fuck the ARC is, because goddamn it, Steve, Red will tell you. He'll tell you. This dude's his, he's not. Do you have any idea how many members are in the fuck? See, you have any idea of how many are in the undeniable?
No.
Nah.
Okay. Keep that in mind for what I'm going to say next. Because I look at it, and this is a question. This is just because, we have multiple main event people on this panel now. Because I can't even make a joke about that based on how this is played out. Mr. Patch.
Yes, sir.
How many people do you have in the LIM?
So there are 7 main guys and probably 8 or 9 wrestlers.
You
Chuck
seem to be
Anderson.
okay. Gabagool seems to be a fan of me as well as some of you guys, correct?
Yes.
With you being undefeated and being a champion and being everything else, why did you and your boys come out and help me? Because you already had the numbers. I don't have a fucking army, but you do. Why didn't any of you have to, or did you just need to make sure that you took care of the one fight as opposed to, this thing that's been growing for 11 straight sellouts?
I see your point.
Nobody wants.
I see your point.
I haven't been around for 11.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But main event Steve, let's get to main event Steve real quick, because he's walking around with this stain, the chip on his shoulder. Because that's what it is. He needs to make sure that everybody understands his viewpoints and get certain things out of people. So I'm going to ask Mr. Main Event Steve on the day that this took place. How did you feel when I was getting my ass whipped? Because I know you couldn't jump in because management won't allow you. I know that's the case. You have to do your job. But when I was, getting my ass whooped and I was down and out, because this hasn't been the first time I've been down and out in this company. Remember when UNC Red decided you want to come out and help me up? You know, when I was getting beat up, when Maximus Orion was there and you guys decided, hey, we friends, we're going to do it. I was like, please don't do it. And then you guys drop me. And then you get on commentary, you say, okay, we're friends, we're going to do this thing. And you see that I'm struggling, you see that everything is going on. You didn't have to be a part of the fight. Why don't you come and help me out? Any other time you go ahead and jump in these multiple battles that take place. What was your feeling when this was taking place?
I will say that I left Joliet Saturday night with a great many regrets. I should have been there and I wasn't. That's on me.
Wonderful. And you know what the one answer that never came out of this entire ordeal between the three of you came out to be? The one that everyone continuously tries to say, especially Maximus Orion? That I deserved it, Steve. No one is saying that except for the people that are in charge, that I deserved it. That's all they've been saying. You deserve this thing that's happening to you, but not one of you have said it because you all are slowly understanding. Maybe I'm on to something right now. Maybe I'm not such a bad person. Maybe I just see things a little bit differently and I just don't like dealing with bullshit. Just maybe. Maybe I've been telling you, hey, this is a bad move. This is going to be a problem. You need to fix this. And everyone just kind of, oh, RYORR's being funny with this gimmick and everything. Okay, now it's a problem. Now people losing their jobs. While newcomers, because let's put it this way, and I'm just gonna just flat out, I guess this is part shoot, part gimmick. We'll go and see how people feel about it. But it comes down to the idea of respect. And this is probably one of the few times that you get to like figure out if I'm like shooting or not shooting. Okay? Because I'm not gonna talk in a calm voice. I'm just gonna say this how I normally would say things. Ready? Okay. I have honestly been able to say that I've been a heavyweight champion, that I've held a big belt in a company that was one of the best in the Midwest. Not just Chicagoland area, but in the Midwest. You've worked for them, Steve. I've been able to say I've been a tag champion. I've been able to say that I've been a Midwest champion. I've been able to say I've been a second city champion, interim champion. I've held multiple single championships, multiple tag team championships. I've won multiple tournaments. I've been able to say that I've been in cage matches, strap matches, hardcore matches. I've been able to have feuds. I've won awards. I've done a lot of stuff. But the one thing that is a constant when it comes to this particular company, as well as others, but more so in this one, is the idea of respect. Because the ones that they're going about is Mr. 1-0 and Main Event Steve. Someone like myself, they don't give a shit about. And it's not because I'm a dinosaur. It's because I can break shit down accordingly. The fact of the matter is, why would you want a dinosaur, and I use that in quotation marks, that's able to fight the system when they could go ahead and get people that may or may not be able to go in and want to fight directly? Because I'm going to be honest, both Main Event Steve and Mr. 1-0 have very much the heart aspect. But if it came down to an actual fight, like a legitimate fight where you had to get an army together, who would you not want to see on this particular thing? Mr. Main Event Steve, Mr. 1-0, or the dinosaur? If I had to choose who I needed to fight in a war, and this is just long standing, because I'm not sure if you remember how dinosaurs work. They ruled the earth for a while. And I know this sounds like a very, very weird concept, but I've been very, very clear as far as the intentions of things and just here's a scenario, just think it over. I'm not sure yet, but just think it over because I've been around, I've seen stuff. This is not a knock to either main event Steve or Mr. 1-0. But Rocket Pro created these scenarios. This is something you need to understand. They didn't create a Rion Skills. They created a dinosaur. And the fact of the matter is, especially with how this is playing out, I'm no longer needed. I understand where my role is, and I've understood that for a very long time. But moving forward, the main event Steves and the 1-0s of the world are going to understand a very, very, very hard lesson that you need dinosaurs around. Or else you'll be just like everybody else that was extinct at the time of the Stone Age, or the prehistoric age, I have to say. I hope all of this makes sense as far as me rambling on and going about certain things. So now you get to decide if it's a work or a shoot. Have fun, everybody, on podcasts. See what's going on for that. But I'm dead serious. I'll go ahead and talk about my actual feelings about things after this is, done. But have fun. LIM's podcast and the what is that? Is it fourth month? Do you guys have issues with the fourth mother box still or no? Or is that good? Are we good with
No,
it?
we're still not good. I'm still coming out with a diss track at the end of the year for him.
See, this is why I don't know. This is okay. Then I guess JFW, if they got some stuff to say, that's fine. Just take all of this and run with it. That is my thoughts on the Rocket. Oh, congratulations to Von Yeager, as he is the new inter-county champion. He was just better than me. Flat out. He's just better. There's no way. I tried. I'm old, out of shape. It happens. Feel free to go and say what you need to say now. I'm gonna mute myself. I probably talk too much while looking at this photo of me on the ground, but I'm gonna go back to being silent.
Okay. Reactions?
I think for me, so I saw it coming. And then I took my eye off the ball. But I was focused so much when I was brought back on the idols and what was going on and how everything was playing out that I took my eye off a second. I truly did. I can be honest about that. Because I told you at one point, if you remember, if you don't, go back and watch the show, where I said, I see Rion's point when it came to Maximus. The Maximus was so focused on him and not taking care of home. And now let's be honest. All of us are sitting here with egg on our face, per se, because he's right and we fucked up. Even to the point, I just said home, right? Undeniables went into his legit home and whooped his ass. Nobody said nothing. Nobody did nothing. Nothing happened. We sat there a few months ago, Steve, when the Chicago Bear Hug became undeniable. Now, me, I thought it was a joke because one person out of the undeniables isn't around because his ass is still worried about fucking Michael Myers. So we kind of just let our guards down. Whatever. And again, we've been focused on everything except for what it should be focused on. And now here's a point that I wonder if the idols have even paid attention to. And I hope they're watching. How long are they going to be Damien Saint's bitches? Because now, since I've been back, so I can only talk about since I've returned, Damien Saint has been using the idols. Right? Damien Saint yet has put the idols in more than one precarious situation. At the end of the season, right, Steve?
So it would seem.
And then this past Saturday, right?
Yeah.
But yet, before that, even with the undeniables, Saint would use the idols. Right? So now the question starts to become, when does he get rid of the idols?
Time will tell, I suppose.
But it's not even about the idols. It's about clearly Saint had. Did you see his statement that he made? I want to say it might have been Monday because I was sick. So y'all got to forgive me. I've been sick for the past few days. But he released the statement. And in that statement, he said, Shelly's bullshit. There is no Coach Jim. Nobody can do what he does. It's all just a bunch of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't even feel threatened at this point. So again, I feel what Rion's saying. Yeah, we all fucking dropped the ball. But when does the point come that those of us who are not undeniable stand up and say, hey, fuck you? Because after this conversation tonight, I can say it. Again, see, that's the beautiful thing about talking to Rio. He only has to talk to you one time. And if you sit back and you pay attention and you listen, he gives you everything you need right then and there. And here's the fucked up part. He's gone.
No, I'm still here.
No, not.
I'm still no, I'm still hanging around. I'm still hanging around.
I mean, I know you're here right now. But as far as Rocket, bro, what the fuck? So what happens? And I'm being honest to both of y'all. What the fuck happens next month? What happens next month when he tells the LIM, guess what? You're not allowed in the fucking building. Pay ticket or not. Steve, what happens when we go to sit down to do commentary and there's two other guys sitting there? When do we say, fuck you? When do we? And that's the fucked up part. And he just said it. Yeah, we don't know how many undeniables there are, but guess what? I guarantee you there's more of us than it is of them. So when do we say, fuck you? That's my statement.
Sometimes you can't see the forest for the trees. Even when people tell you the train's coming, sometimes you don't get off the tracks. So, especially after Rion's soliloquy, I'm embarrassed. Don't think I ever really want to be referred to as main event Steve again. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed to be a pawn in this game. I'm embarrassed to be a fringy puppet to anybody. And we should have been paid better attention, I guess. Boy, when you say take ego and pride out of things, it makes things a lot easier. You're right. So sorry, Rion. We dropped the ball. We let you down. You told us it was coming, and now it is here. So hopefully Shelly's plan with a co-GM helps level the playing field, or Red might be right. Maybe we'll all be out of a job. But I think tonight is the last time I ever want to be referred to as main event Steve. That's painfully clear. Pac-Man, before we wrap this up, you got anything to say?
Nothing other than thank you for everybody for their support. As I was put in a match by the general manager, and you know, when you really think about it, like, it's fortunate that things happen the way they happen, but you know, they're sitting and listening and thinking about it, like, and I joke and never say never and all of that, but I could have really gotten hurt. And I was put in that position where I could have gotten hurt by Damian Saint. And it's, you know, there's definitely no love lost between the LIM and the general manager. I mean, we were the ones that were some of the loudest fans in the building when you were forced to stand, Steve. You know, and we love you. And with everything that's happened, like, I've definitely noticed there's been a lot more dissension with LIM and you. And it's like he's got an end goal for everything in all of this. You know, he didn't stop everything when it started. I could have gotten very, very hurt, and I'm fortunate that I didn't. Thank you, C-Red. Thank you, Johnny, for coming and saving me both of those times. I mean, and even I admitted when Rion and I had a conversation on this show a couple months back that I definitely got the sense that a lot of the stuff he's been saying to Maximus has been true. That there is a lot more going on than we all see. I've noticed it. And I was in kind of a unique position last Saturday where I probably could have done a little more And I know I dropped the ball, and I know LIM dropped the ball. And I will put that squarely on my shoulders. I mean, the crowd at Rocket Pro hasn't necessarily gotten behind Rion with everything that happened with Maximus, but we've had his back the whole time, because I think there's a part of all of us that know that there's so much more that's going on and so much that's unusual that's happened at Rocket Pro since Damian Saint took over as general manager. So really, not to end this night on a downer, but again, I do appreciate everybody who came and supported me, and I hope you were very entertained.
Absolutely. It was a great show. Aaron Stone retained his title in a match that can only be described as a classic triple threat match with Quinn Whittick and Shaq Jordan. Three amazing athletes. Catch it on YouTube when it comes up. It was a story unto itself. The Coyotes and Christian Rose continue to splinter as bad things continue to happen in that group. Red and I have had discussions about Christian Rose being certifiably insane. I think we have established that. Hopkins and Hardenbauer, fantastic. The matches, all the matches, the whole card from top to bottom was fantastic. And boy, the final level versus Dark Carnival. It would be hard to beat the pop you got, PX, when you came out and when you hit that stunner. But boy, the Barker and Cypher struck the imagination at St. Joe's Park, and Marche and Logan were up to the challenge. And the reversal of finishers, to which Marche hits the super kick and Logan hits the M80, popped me super hard that night. Rocket Pro is doing some pretty entertaining things. I don't know who's responsible for it. I don't necessarily even care. But I can't wait to see what happens at Resolution as Paulie Tomaselli. And who's his partner, Red?
I don't know.
You don't know who Paulie's partner is?
He knows. He knows. He
Say
knows.
it, Red. Say it.
Nope. Nope.
Don't
Nope.
say it.
Nope.
Say it.
I'm not. So get it over
Say
with.
it like you said it when we were at DWA.
I can't. You ain't got no voice.
Say it anyway.
Acid, okay?
It's not acid. It's
Such a jerk.
Resolution will be the next installment in the Rocket Pro saga. Does Shelley have a co-GM? Is Damian Saint above the law? Will people start listening to Rion's skills? A lot of questions. Will Gunner Brave take a shot at the champ to win the Rocket Pro title? Can Team Death Grip beat the final level? Amazing times at St. Joe's Park in a storied building that has been built on wrestling for decades. Resolution comes at you in 2024. What a show that'll be. As far as this show goes, next week, we'll be back to Tuesday night. That will be December the 12th. And our guest is an enigma, almost like I've never seen. We will talk about his upcoming dealings at Frontline Pro Wrestling and the various hunts that he is on as Father Dripmas Paragon will be our guest next Tuesday night. Red has been bitching and moaning for months that I'm stacking the deck in my favor and booking all these guests that he doesn't like. Well, I know you can't say that about next week. And as
Oh, of course.
it's the penultimate episode of the Power Hour, right before the big live episode where we roast C Red on December 19th. So we'd like to thank RYORR of Krossternia for taking time to tell us about some of the ongoings. We'd like to thank Cactus Rack for her tales of the knockouts. We'd like to thank Mr. 1-0, the champion of nothing, as RYORR called you, PX, for all of his passion and heart that we love that he does this with us. We'd like to thank C Red for coming in sick and still doing yeoman's work, and tonight transitioning to becoming the Dark Knight, or I'm sorry, the Black Knight, who will be fighting in the army in Krossternia very soon. And
Of course.
agree on skills for the wake-up call. Next week it's Paragon. This week is over. Don't miss Super Wrestlers this Sunday night. Thank you for joining us, and all hail Krossternia. Good night, everybody.